Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and let's start here. Crypto Insight UK. I'm going to reiterate what I said yesterday about XRP. The 12-hour chart's interesting. Last time we saw spot volume like this, while seeing a big flush in open interest and funding, flirting with negative over a prolonged period, it was at the bottom. Following this, we rallied 50% in the short term. This rally would bring XRP up towards 75 cents, multi-year range. I can see this happening. I'll continue to reiterate. XRP looks different to many alts here. Structurally, it looks like it's ahead. Statistically, it's outperformed the market since June. Then we got this. This was put out by XRP. This is the modern investor, and I tend to majorly agree with what he's saying here.
I think it would honestly be a bit weird, and I mean like weird. If we don't get to like a $20 XRP, it's going to be kind of odd with all the momentum and stuff that they have going on. And for those of you who don't know, every transaction is also burning XRP in the background as well. So that'll only accelerate if they start doing billions of dollars worth of transactions monthly through their stablecoin. Yeah. That's the Grayscale XRP trust is picking up. A lot of whales are buying XRP. I'm sure a lot of normal people are buying XRP. Yeah.
Okay. I'm buying XRP. Now, those are a couple of good clips that I think they're from a while back. But there's some good clips where Brad Garlinghouse is talking about RLUSD and XRP, and these are worth seeing because RLUSD could come out, really it's days probably by now.
Institutions, I think, sets up for RLUSD or Ripple USD for success. And again, we think it helps the overall XRPL ecosystem because it just adds liquidity on Ledger. So we're excited about that. We are very close to, I think earlier today, somebody asked me for a timeline. I just said weeks, not months, because of, but we're getting there pretty quickly. And we just want to make sure we launch with kind of full regulatory oversight out of the gates to keep everybody happy.
I think having high quality stable coins on the XRP ledger is just, we know from other platforms that when they have high quality stable coins on there, total value locked increases, transaction flow increases, liquidity increases. It's just a key enabling technology. And it's just a great example of that thing where like the stablecoin issuers are some of the most regulated entities on the list.
Okay. And then there was this one right here I wanted to show you.
Two things come to mind of like big events. I'll save the bigger one for the second. But, I think the stablecoin effort is a really important one. And I think Ripple has always taken the view that anything we can do that is good for the XRP ledger, we're going to lean into. Bringing liquidity to the XRP ledger is good for everyone in the community. And anytime I read it online or just somebody saying that Ripple somehow isn't committed to the XRP ledger, I just think that they totally are missing it. Like, we're 100% committed to the XRP ledger. We always will be. And we would only do a stable coin if we thought it was good for the XRP ledger. But I think that's going to be an exciting step around the RLUSD. The second one, which I'm sure Monica was letting me talk about, but getting sued by the U.S. government is not a fun experience, and I think it was pivotal for Ripple, but it was also pivotal for the crypto industry at large, and I think not just in the United States, but even globally. We had sort of an opportunity to settle that without fighting the fight. We ended up deciding to fight the fight, and it was expensive. It was certainly stressful. I was actually, right before I got up here, I was reading on Twitter, and somebody on Twitter was commenting how much it looks like Brad has aged over the years. It's like, well, the government sues you, it stresses you out. Anyway, that was certainly an important step for the company, but an important step for crypto at large. And I think I'm proud of the fact that we stood up to what I think is kind of a U.S. government entity that's being a bully and still being a bully to other entities. So, yeah, thank you.
Okay, so let's check out the Ripple stablecoin tracker. They're still doing the testing here. They're testing burning RLUSD, 100 RLUSD burn. This was 6.1 million minted. Seems like there was a big burn yesterday. Let's see. That's minted. A lot of it being minted. But they're testing out the burning of real USD is what's interesting. So then Eleanor Tarrant put this out. SEC has not filed its Form C with the Second Circuit Court yet, which will detail exactly what they're appealing. They need to do that pronto so Ripple knows how to proceed. Ripple has 14 days from today to file cross appeal if they choose to. And then Fruition Films came in and said, yet again, SEC slows the adoption of XRP, delaying the inevitable utilization. We will continue to focus the documentary on the damages created by the SEC and rally behind justice for XRP holders. Given the likely lengthy appeal process, we are pushing to release regardless. And here's more. CoinDesk has picked up on Senator Elizabeth Warren's corruption. This is from Nick Carter. We have evidence enough to suggest that the two most important pro-crypto banks, Silvergate and Signature, were opportunistically executed amid the fog of war during the 2023 banking crisis. In other words, Elizabeth Warren, pushing all of her Fed people, literally caused these bank failures because of her hate for crypto and that they banked crypto. That's how sick these people are, folks. These are some sick O's. Speaking of sickos, here's one of the rare things that Mark Cuban says that I actually agree with. He's directly over the target here.
Meme coins work, right? You talked about those yourself. Like, you know,
but that's just fun. That's just community, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's still a rug pull. Every single meme pull is a rug pull in the works, right? Because there's no real reason for it to stick around other than the fun of it and to see, you know, when the token goes up in value because more people came in, it's, you know, it's musical chairs. Meme coins are all just a game of musical chairs.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of the investments in general, I find like is like musical chairs. Like you have investors that get it.
You don't really have to see any more than that. He's right. The cartoon monkeys and the meme coins, musical chairs, folks. I mean, if it does, Brad Garlinghouse said it a long time ago, if it doesn't have a real use case where it's going to really be used in the world of finance, then stay away. That's my opinion. Speaking of staying away, here's the Tether CEO dancing all around the fact that he never has had an audit. See, I think the reason they don't want an audit is because they don't want the auditor to go back and see where all the money, where all the funding for Tether and all of that began and where the money is flowing to and has flown in the past. That's why they just want to do these attestations where they can show the current state of the thing, how many treasury bonds we own, how much Bitcoin we own, and all that kind of stuff.
When it comes to full audits, I've been pretty vocal about the fact that I think Senator Warren wasn't necessarily helpful in the past, saying that Big Four auditing firms should not take on more new stablecoin clients and new crypto clients in general. But also, you know, I'm not aware of our competitors having or publishing a periodic audit of their reserves for their stablecoins. So our quarterly station is made by BDO, that is one of the top auditing firms in the world.
It's an auditing firm, but it's not doing an audit.
It's very detailed. I think is much longer than the attestations that the others put out. Is also shows the fact that the auditor goes very in depth into our research with also independent confirmations from all the different partners.
Yeah, that's what you call BS. But Houston, we have a problem. Looks like Coinbase upcoming changes to stablecoin support in the EEA due to new MiCA regulation. Coinbase will restrict services from for stablecoins that do not meet MiCA requirements by 30th of December 2024. Says here, this will include options for switching to stablecoins that have compliance under MiCA. They've received achieved compliance under MiCA, such as USDC and EURC, but they do not mention USDT. Now, speaking of uh-ohs, here's another uh-oh. There's an HBO documentary coming out. They claim to have uncovered the true identity of Satoshi. And I said, if this documentary doesn't investigate the 4 Satoshis in the Homeland Security video, you can be sure that it's a 3-letter agency propaganda. I haven't seen this documentary yet, but let me make a little gamble. I believe that this documentary is not really, this is just my gut. But I present this right here again. This is what I do not understand. Why am I the only person in crypto that's saying something? This is common sense. Okay, like I'm saying here, this is most likely not the smoking gun. And we've seen many films and stuff like this where they claim, oh, we know who Satoshi is. But nobody can really prove it. But all right. This person says the NSA, look at this.
NSA created SHA-256, which is the algorithmic procedure behind Bitcoin. And everyone said, I'm crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about. Then I'm coming across Twitter, and here is a paper from 1996. And the paper was called How to Make a Mint, the Cryptography of Anonymous Electric Cash. This was written in 1996 by NSA. And coincidentally, who the author of that 1996 paper about electronic cash, do you know who the author was? It was Satoshi Nakamoto. Doesn't that sound like Satoshi Nakamoto, who is the credited author for Bitcoin paper, which was in 2008?
Sure does. Now, in DAIXRP.com, here's what we're going to talk about. Now, we've talked about conspiracies and stuff in there, but this one, for me, this is the big one. This is the big kahuna when it comes to conspiracies. I've heard about this one for years now, and it's one of the most creepy, unbelievable stories that there is. And now it's being tied in with the party guy, and I'm going to show it to you, and it is creepy. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying it is unbelievable, some of this stuff. Okay, here we